Hi there, this is Karen McNall. I'm with Inspired by Graham, and this week we have been working with the Labeled with Love stamp set. It also is a bundle. It comes with a punch bundle, so this one's been really fun to use. We made 4 cards, 2 on Monday, 2 on Wednesday, and today I'm going to decorate a journal. But let's go over the cards and all the product that you see in front of us here. This is the punch, and again, it does go with the bundle. So the cards I made earlier, this was the first one. It's a friendship card. And I'm using the designer series paper called Winter Meadow. It's in the annual catalog. It's a carryover from last year. And here's a birthday card. I wanted to get a masculine card. And then the snowflake 3D, falling snowflake 3D embossing folder, something like that it's called, is on the background here, Misty Moonlight. I'm not sure if you can see that. All the cards are decorated at the very end with the Wink of Stella. And on the inside here is just a plain and simple strip of designer paper. This one is a Just For You card. It's just for you. And I showed how to do 2-step stamping on this one, and I've got a coordinating envelope that I used with this design here. This is stamped with blueberry bushel and shaded spruce, and the dies are from Radiating Stitches. And then here's the final one. This is kind of another masculine card with the deer print. I used the Fern 3D embossing folder on the background here. This is Smoky Slate onto Smoky Slate with Pebbled Path as the accent color. Perennial postage dies is this one right here. And then this one opens up like a Z fold, and it is a birthday card. So I like on the embossing folders that you can see both sides. It really showcases off the embossing folder. I just added a little bit of strip that was left over here. So today we are going to be decorating a journal. Here's the one I created. I thought it would look kind of cool with a tag on the front. So you can just keep them plain, or you can decorate however you want. And then I'm also going to be showing you how to use your scraps of designer paper. And then here's a bookmark that you can have as well. So let's get started. We'll go over kind of some of the supplies here we've got in front of us. I am using the silver and white. This is the sheer ribbon. It's really, really pretty. And it goes really nicely, I think, with the silver color goes really nicely with the Winter Meadow Designer Paper. In that Winter Meadow Designer Paper, it's got so many fabulous colors. We've got basic white, smoky slate, shaded spruce, pretty peacock, Pebbled Path, Moody Mauve, Misty Moonlight, Lost Lagoon, Green, Garden Green, and Blueberry Bushel. So I'm going to be using the berry print, which it looks like this. And then the dies that created those tags, they are from the Greetings of the Season bundle. Perfect bundle for Christmas time. And then the thing is, with these, you can cover up the hole there with an embellishment or add your ribbon, whatever you want. I find these dies have been really, really helpful in my craft room. The bundle item number is 164113. It's $51.25. And then on the back side here, it's the stamp set that goes with it is a sentiment stamp set. So Greetings of the Season bundle, 164113. So highly recommend that bundle. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're selecting our paper, and this is the one I selected out of the Winter Meadow. I purchased these Paper Age journals. They're really nice and sturdy. I like them. They all come with different colors for the spine. This one here is kind of like a evening evergreen, or remember that color, or it's very close to the shaded spruce. So that's why I chose it with this one. All right, so in order to cut your paper correctly, the first thing you really need to do is measure your journal. And journals will come all different sizes. And what I mean by that is it could be off by as much of 1/4 of an inch. So every single journal you're working with, you need to measure. And I measure from the spine here all the way to the edge. And when I measured this one, it comes out to be, let's see, 5 and geez, less than a quarter, 1 tick mark, 3/16. So that's interesting because right here, the first one I made was 5 3/8 by 7 15/16. So that's kind of interesting. So I got to jot this number down. I was hoping it would be actually the same size, but see what I mean is like it is not. So it is 5 3/16. So that's 3 tick marks on the ruler by, and we'll turn it this way and see what we get for this measurement. It is 7 and 15/16, so 1 tick mark less than 8 inches. Now I'm going to cut both panels that way, and I'm going to show you on the back side what happens. And an easy fix if this happens to you. That's why I want to cut it a little bit differently. So grab your paper trimmer, and the first thing I do is I'm going to cut at 7 15/16. If your paper is directional, make sure you turn it this way so the top is on the left. And then we're going to line it up at 7 15/16, which is 1 tick mark less than 8 inches. Okay. We're going to save this for our tags. And then we'll rotate this one, and we will cut at 5 3/16. So 3 tick marks past the 5-inch mark. And we will need, let me see. I might have to cheat a little bit because I want this one a little bit longer so I can show you. Oh, I'm glad I looked. So I'm going to cut this one at 5.5 inches. Actually should have done the first one a little bit longer too, but you'll get what I mean by when I use when I start cutting my paper again. So keep this strip. That's probably going to be your highlight strip for your tag. We're all done with the paper trimmer. And now what I like to do is I use tear and tape adhesive. I feel that this needs a very, very strong adhesive. These are leftovers from various kit collection paper pumpkins. So I love our kits and paper pumpkin because we always have lots of supplies left over that we can use in future projects. So I'm taking that tear and tape adhesive and I am lining it up right against that green spine. Go very slowly because I want to make sure this is good and straight as much as we can. And then I'm going to use my fingernail and tear. And then we're going to go all the way around. It's okay if you overlap your tape. No worries there. And then we'll do the same thing. I'm going to use my thumbnail and tear and then rotate. And then add this strip. And then finally the bottom one. The trick is you want to get as close to the edge as you can. Okay, so now I'll take this and I'm going to make an X. So one full strip and then the other one like this. So now we have the front covered. Rotate it over and we're going to do the same thing on the back side. So we'll get that one prepped. We're not going to release the backings yet on this one. We'll wait until we get the front side done. All right, so this is done. Wait, is it done? Oh no. Yes, actually it is. Where's the end of that sticky part? Yep. So this is done and I will throw that out and I'm going to grab another scrap leftover tear and tape from a previous kit. And the dimensionals I'm using today, or I have been this week, have all been from extra kits. Or not extra kits, from kits that we had extra dimensionals left over. So again, I'm just gonna go right there around the edges. Get as close as you can. I'm at an angle here, so I can't quite see the edges there, but, and then we'll do that same thing by creating the X. These make really nice craft fair items too. You can get these little journals by bulk on Amazon. I can list the link for you in the description box. They're a little bit more pricey, but that's okay because you'll build that price into your craft fair pricing. I believe I sell these for $8. And I would probably have a special too for $14 or maybe $15. Just a little bit of a discount. You don't want to give too much of a discount because you've got your time in there and you've got to pay yourself time because you're not doing this for free. You're trying to make a little bit of money at your craft fairs. At least I try to do that. All right, so what I did was I took my bone folder, and when you put the tear and tape on, there are little bubbles underneath it. So if you try to take the backing off, the adhesive may not stick to the journal. So just take your bone folder and just kind of burnish all of them. And it's gonna help you take off the backing so much easier. All right, I think we're done with the bone folder for the minute. So now I'm back to the front side. Let's remove all of these carefully. Don't go too fast because you don't want that adhesive to come off. It's a very windy day today, so you may hear the wind and you may hear my wind chimes. I've got about 3 or 4 outside, so sometimes it gets a little noisy with all those wind chimes, plus the wind. Oh, shoot. You know, I did that right. I don't know. I just had a little brain fart there. So, all right. We want the smaller size, so this is the one here. And I attach these by finding a corner. You can use whatever corner is easiest for your eyes. I always like to choose the top left for me. And then I'm going to line that right up and to that corner of the green edge. And then I'm coming down really slowly to get everything else in place. I could have cut this one a little bit longer. I'm seeing that this right here is showing. So I'm really not happy with that. But we'll make it do. What I'll do is I'll take a blending brush and I'll blend some, probably a light green around all the edges, and that way it'll look much better. All right, now we're going to turn it over. We're going to work on the back side, but first I'm going to just double check. This one will probably do the same thing. Maybe not. Yeah, it's going to do the same thing. But I'm okay with that. It's fine. So I'm taking all those backings off once again. There's always a way to fix things. Especially, that's an easy fix by just taking your blending brush and doing a really light blend of a green. And that would match the spine. All right, now this piece here should be wider than what it is on here. So I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm turning this upside down because my eyes work on the left side. So I want that spine on the left side. And I'm just going to line this up again with the green. And then we'll just smooth it out. Now I take my bone folder and I really give it a good press up and down and across. I'll do the same thing for the front side. Okay, so now you notice that the back side has a little bit of extra, and this is what I should have probably do on the top and the bottom too. But like I said, I'm not too worried about it. But to take this off, I have my Glass Mat Studio, which is awesome to use and have on your desk. I have it on my desk all the time. I rarely film with it or use it on lives because of the glare, but I wanted to show you how you can use it. So I've got a little X-Acto knife, and I'm going to cut this off. You could use paper snips, but I find the X-Acto knife works pretty good. So I'm just going really slow. I've got that blade up against the craft cover there. And then you might have to go over it 2 times. There. Now everything else should just come right off. And I got a little bit of paper there, so I'll just try to take the X-Acto knife and trim it off. There, I got it. So you could do that on all 4 or all sides and just trim it down that way. That way you know that your paper is going to be, you know, covering the cover exactly. So see here, I'm off by like a 1/16 of an inch, and down here as well. So a little bit actually more on that side, but I'm okay with that. All right, so this is our journal, what it's looking like so far. And now to decorate it, I'm going to decorate it the same way as I did on the sample one here. I'm going to create a tag for you from the leftover paper that we cut down. This would be fabulous to make a card, because that's plenty of paper for you to like create something like this. All right, or the card that matches with this one. So I'm gonna take, let's see, what do I want to do first? I've already die cut some shaded spruce panels, all right, from the dies, and then I had a scrap that was already embossed with the brick embossing folder, the 3D. So I took that one and I'm going to use that one. And then this one here is just cardstock, which is die cut. So I've got 2 of these. This one will be my bookmark because it's a little bit more fancy, and I'll be using it. The next step you're going to want to do is decorate your tag. So where's the die? It's on my desk somewhere here. Hold on just a second. Okay, our next step is to create the tag and the bookmark. So I have already die cut a few pieces, and I'm going to show you how to die cut the designer paper and one of these, this little one here too. So I had in my stash just a scrap piece of the shaded spruce, and it was already embossed with the 3D exposed brick embossing folder. So I really like that, and that's going to be incorporated with the bookmark. And then this is just a plain piece of shaded spruce, which I've already die cut. All right, so now to create the tag and the bookmark, I've got 2 random pieces, the same pattern. They're 3 by 4, and you're gonna wanna work so that the back side is facing you. And then the accent piece is that one of the strips here that was left over. So what you do is, I like to use liquid glue on this part, because you can get really close to the edges. I usually use my fine tip glue holder, but that needs to be replenished. So we'll just use our regular multi-purpose liquid glue bottle. Okay, so that's on there. I'm going to press it from the back side too. Let's let that one dry. And we'll repeat the same process. I chose to have the berries as the highlight accent piece because I think if you put it on the back, like at the back side, it's going to be in this solid piece. Like, let me show you. Like this, it's not going to look as nice. So we'll do it this way. It's okay if it goes over the edge because our die cut is a little bit smaller than the paper we're working with. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces here, and let me grab my mini cut and emboss machine. While those are drying, I'm going to use the dies to cut out the shaded spruce. I'll show you how the mini cut and emboss works. I love having my mini cut and emboss machine on my desk. It's just so helpful, and not having that chase down and have my bigger one on. And a lot of our products, dies, and some embossing folders will work in the mini. All right, so to complete our sandwich, we have number 1, and then we have number 2. That's our acrylic plate. And then I've got a random piece of shaded spruce scrap, and then my die. And then that's just going to go on like that. And we'll complete the sandwich by putting on plate number 2. And then I'm going to start cranking it through. My right hand is doing the majority of the work, and my left hand is just holding that handle so the machine stays in place. Because the mini cut and emboss machine, I think it weighs like 2 pounds. It's really, really light. Oh, guess who's coming? Mr. UPS man up the hill with another Stampin' Up! Order. All right, so I've got 2 of those, and now our pieces here should be all set and ready to die cut. They should be dry by now. Normally I would cut these at the same time, but since there's 2 layers on here, that would mean if I stacked them like this, it might mean that it doesn't get die cut all the way. So I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to die cut individually. All right, take a look at the pattern to see where you want, what part you want on the top and which one you want on the bottom. And I'm going to go this direction, and then this die cut, or this die goes right on here, and it's a pretty tight fit. I wanted to go 3 by 4 because that maximizes your 12 by 12 designer paper or sheet of designer paper. So then carefully complete the sandwich, push it in, switch our hands over. Makes noises, and that is okay. We'll return this back because we're going to die cut one more piece. So number 1 and number 2. And then here's our little tag. This here, that little piece just kind of pops out. And this is what I was left over with. So we'll do the same thing, and this one here has got a little excess over the top, and that's okay. And I've got my die over here. It's covering all of the paper. We're not over the edge. Again, it's a really tight fit, but it does maximize your paper with a 3 by 4. All right, so we are done with the mini cut and emboss machine. I'm going to fold it up. Just kind of goes like this, and see how small it is? It's really, really small. And it's very light. I think it's like a little over 2 pounds. And then let's take this apart. And then this here, all my plates, what I do with them is I take them and I use a rubber band. So they just kind of stay right next to the machine. Okay, so now we have 2 of these. And if you notice that the hole still has that paper in there, but you can just kind of pop it out. And this one's all set. All right, so now what we'll do is we will take our pieces of shaded spruce, and we're going to adhere those straight onto the card. I'm having the little hole go at the very top. And again, I chose shaded spruce because of the green that's in the foliage on the designer paper. And that again is called Winter Meadow, excuse me, no S. All right, so I've got the bottom about 1/2 of an inch from the bottom of the designer paper, and we're just going to do the same thing. All right, so those are all set. Put those over to the side. We are going to stamp next. So I'm going to grab a piece of scrapped basic white. I have my little scrap bin over to the side. That one will be fine, and that one should be fine. I've got my shaded spruce ink. I've got my piercing mat. And my stamps. Excuse me. So we have to have one of each. So the first one here, it says enjoy today, and I'm going to center it because we are going to be punching this out. Okay, so enjoy today. And then we'll ink this one up. You are loved. Again, center that on your paper. While that is drying, I'm going to take my shaded spruce, because if I want to sell this, then I want to abide by that angel policy. So I have my little handcrafted from the heart with the Stampin' Up! Logo on it. I'm just going to flip to that back page, and I will ink up that and stamp it right at the bottom there. And since I have this one already completed and I did not do that step, and I don't care if it's in green because green is in that paper. All right, so there we go. That is all set and ready to go. We can shut this up. And now we'll grab the punch. Now, if I was mass producing these, I would do all these steps, like I would stamp all of the sentiments, and then I would punch them all out, and, you know, just do the same thing. A repetition is what I'm trying to say. All right, so I'm leaving a little bit more, well, I'm trying to center the enjoy today. And then you are loved. I think you can really hear my chimes, wind chimes right now. All right, so those are all done. This is just recycle bin. We are going to put our dimensionals on the back side of these, so I would suggest to use 3 of them. And it looks like I've got some over here, random pieces. Yep. Again, these are leftovers from a kit. Just love our kits because we get leftovers to use. Okay, so those get pressed down. And now I'm going to remove the backings with my piercing tool. And just make sure they are all off, which they are. And now one of these will go on one, and then the other one on the other. And I'm going to take this white and I'm going to cover up that little hole. Okay, so that one's all set. And then this one, I'm just going to slide up a little bit. I want more of that shaded spruce showing, and by using the punch, it's going, with that little arch there, it's covering that little hole, and no one will know it's there. Now I'm going to grab some of the silver and white ribbon. This is so beautiful. It really sets off the paper. I love the silver with the Winter Meadow. I've got some ribbon scissors over here. I know I'll cut it down again. But you see that little hole? You might think, oh, I can't thread that through there. But with this ribbon, you can. So You Are Loved is going to be the bookmark. So I'm going to grab the embossed panel, put those little holes together, and if you just squish it, it comes all the way through, just like that. And then I'll grab both of those tails and then bring it right through and carefully tie it up tight. And then we're going to do the same with this one. Again, if I was mass producing, I'd have all of my ribbon cut ahead of time. That way I'm not picking up those scissors and picking up the ribbon. We have it all ready to go. Again, line up those holes and push the ribbon through. Create that little opening with your fingers and grab the two tails with your thumb and middle finger and pull carefully, because you don't want to pull too hard. You'll rip the paper, but you want it snug. Okay. Now take your ribbon scissors, and I like to just line these up as straight as I can get them and just provide an angle cut. We'll do the same thing here. And now we'll attach one, and then one will be our bookmark. So let's bring in our little journal. Again, we'll make sure it's going the correct way because we don't want our tag on upside down. And then this one, since it's all like filled with the berries, whereas this one here had that open white space, I'm going to just put this one in, probably, let's see, I might do that at an angle. Like, nah, I'm just going to, let's see. I think I'm just going to put it down lower, not in the center because then that ribbon will be too high, but maybe an inch up from the bottom. So I'll grab my glue. I'll give it a little tap to get that glue in that barrel. And then we'll center it and bring it up about an inch from the bottom. And then these are loose, so you can see the shaded spruce in the embossed paper underneath. And then this is our little bookmark. Okay, you can go in here. But we are going to embellish with the, these are the Opal Rounds assortment. They come in Night of Navy, like an iridescent and a clear. So for this project, I'm going to choose the iridescent because the yellow, let's see what it would look like. Yeah, I don't think the yellow goes, and I think I have just enough of the clear ones to work. So I'm going to add one down here, fill up that white space, and then another large one. Put it up there, and then a small one. Maybe let's go over here. Now I've got 3 on here, but this one might not count. Let me see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can add one more to this one. So 1, 2, and let's go right here. Create our little triangle. And then the sample one here, I use the Night of Navy. The little bookmark, I'm going to do the same thing. Let's kind of decorate it. Put one there to fill in that white space. We could put another one up there. Fill that white space, and then maybe a little tiny one. Let's see, where would I put that one? Or do I need one? Oh, I think I'm going to do this. Put one there, and I got one little one left, and I'll put this one right there. So we have 3 at the bottom and 1 at the top. I know that's 4, but 3's down there, and that's an odd number. That's where my eye's going. And since I just have 1 left, let's take a look. Can we add this to the front? Yes, I'm going to add it to the front. So just figure out where I want it. Let's go down. We don't have any like down it towards the bottom. So I'm going to put it right here. There's a nice little white spot there. Okay. All right, so this one is the one we just made with our nice little bookmark. And then here's my sample one with that piece, the 12 by 12 piece that I was saying that we're going to use that for your 3D. This one here, I did not put any little embellishments on that. So let's take a look at the blue ones here. A little piece of cat hair. Oh, the darn cat. Do you guys have that problem? Your cat getting on everything? She's sleeping right now. She usually comes in and has to say hello every time I'm talking to the camera, but not today for some reason. I think I'm just going to go with 2. Yeah, let's just go with 2 with that one. Okay, actually, no, we're not. We're going to fix this one. We're going to make 3 on the bottom here. So let's grab, I've got them, why not use them? So we'll put 1 there. 1 there, and then the final one here. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is all I have left. And let's go through the projects one more time. So this is our pre-recorded video project with our little bookmark. You could put something on the inside here if you wanted to decorate the inside. That's another suggestion, but the more you decorate it, the more, if you're selling this at a craft fair, the more your project is going to cost more for the customer. So please take that into consideration. Here's our Enjoy Masculine birthday card, which Smoky Slate. And then we have a friendship card. Thanks, friend. You are loved. And that's Moody Mauve is the color there. And then, excuse me, Just for You, with our nice little 2-step stamping flower. I thought that looked really nice with this pattern in the paper. And then here's our Happy Birthday, and just that little strip of designer paper. This one, honestly, they all would be easy to do and mass produce. This one uses punches. This one uses the die. If I was to mass produce, the easiest one to mass produce in my mind would probably be this one, because you are punching, versus this would be my second choice, but you're die cutting this one too. So and I like the 3x3 piece in this scenery, the snow with the trees. It looks really nice, just a little bit smaller than like a front panel would look. So I hope you enjoyed this week using Labeled with Love. And I finally got to use the punch that goes with the bundle. So for any of this, the Stampin' Up! Products, you can order from me at inspiredbygram.com. And don't forget about signing up with Stampin' Up! Once you're a demonstrator, you purchase a starter kit, your next order and the orders after that can be up to 25% off. So it's a great choice. Even if you're a hobby demonstrator, don't feel like you have to sell, because that's how I started out many and many years ago, and I decided to go business-minded. So any of that information you can find on my website. Again, that is inspiredbygram.com. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Have a great day.